Okay, hello there, AP U.S. History kids. A couple little preliminary things, and then we'll talk about what we're doing here. First off, I have a bone to pick with Owen. Owen, who works at the grocery store, Food City. Not the Owen that's dating Teresa that's in my fifth period class there in there. That I have two Owens. All right, but the first Owen number one. All right, look here. I'm just calling you out right here. I don't think you know how to spell phase. All right, and anyone who agrees with Owen about the way you spell phase up, only makes sense if it's like a higher phase, Phase. I really have no idea what phase up means. It doesn't make any sense at all, and I've never thought it meant anything at all year long. However, the closest thing it could be to being logical would be to be a higher phase. To phase somebody, Faze, and I'm not even sure that's the way you spell that, but to phase, to be unfazed, to phase up, to phase somebody means to bother somebody. So it's to bother up. That doesn't make any sense at all. So clearly, the spelling of phase in the phrase, phase up is Phase. All right, not Faze. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. All right, so if you've been spelling it, for those of you who use that lingo and use that phrase, phase up, if you've been spelling it Faze, well, you're misspelling it. Change it. I am hereby changing the spelling of the lingo. Done. All right. And anybody who says otherwise, well, I'm going to go in and give you a bag rate or something. All right, just kidding. All right, next. All right, look what we got. We're through with all stuff, right? We've covered all the way to Obama. And so we're now getting ready for the AP test. The AP test is, here in a month or so. All right. Man, I believe I got an email today. I hadn't got a chance to look at it. But what we're going to do down the stretch here, so today and also Wednesday, we're going to, there's all kinds of good review stuff out there. All right. We are only, here's what I know about it. It's a 45-minute test, and there's 4 questions. It's online. All right. That I don't know any of the details. I think they sent me another email about, I think April 3rd is the date that they make all final decisions on it. So I don't think I'll know anything until the end of the week. But we're studying. We're going to study for it now. All right. So we're going all cumulative. And so we're going to go by periods. All right. So here's what we're doing here. Period 7 is 1898 to 1945. All right, so look what I got. And as I do this, I'll improve on things. But look there, goes a column. That's your column right there. Okay. All right. Then look as I go down. Boom, baby, that's my column. That will be the Dr. McKenzie phase of this review session. You'll have your phase, Phase, and I'll have my phase, Phase. Try not to be phased, Fazed, by this review session. All right, and then the third, remain unfazed. All right, the third column will be the review guy. So there's this review guy. I can't remember his name, but I'm going to send him to you. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I want you to pause it for, I don't know. So you're going to take a paper. All right, so here we go. We'll go you. All right, then let's go down. Let's finish your phase. Don McKenzie, shut up. All right, we get the joke. Give me a break. All right, then we got McKenzie. And that guy. Once I send it to, we'll know his name. It's not John Green, it's another guy. All right, so let's put his name, the reviewer. Let's put it that way. Up, the reviewer. Okay. I cannot remember all the different. I can't remember all the categories. It was AP work can make grades awful, and then they added something to it, like culture or something like that. And we tried to come up with the acronym. So we'll still go with AP work can make grades awful. All right. So here. All right, let's go over here. All right, so you've got American identity, politics. That's messing up my columns, isn't it? All right, AP work, WXT, that's economic stuff, work exchange technology, culture, migration, and like I said, they changed it yet again. Can make grades, geography, and I'll look it up after I make the video. Hey, Mackenzie, it'd be better, and you feel free to change. I'll send out like the official ones, and you can go by the official ones. Can make grades awful. What do you think? America and the world. All right. Those were the last year categories. And it was your summer category, so let's hit. Can I hit? No. What do I got to do? Now I got to go over here, don't I? Alright. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so there's the categories, but put it like, try to update those categories. I'll send it to you. I'll have it for you in the morning. But this is what you're going to do. You're going to fill up the left side of your phase. Dr. McKenzie, it's not a phase, it's a column. It doesn't make any sense. Stop yourself. I'm sorry. Don't get phased. Fill up with all the facts you can. Remember all the history you can. 1898. Remember that's the Spanish-American War. World War II into 1945. So you're going everything you can. 1898 to 1945. All right, now do it right, okay? Don't do my crap. All right. Okay. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get rid of the reviewer for the time being. Because here in just a second, I'm going to go to my stuff. All right. I have no idea what I'm going to put. All right. So this is what you're going to do. Hit pause. Take your paper, fill in the left side of your column. As many things, at least 25 things. All right. Including something for everything from that. Okay. So I'm going to take, I took a sip of Gatorade there, all right, while you were filling things in. So you're just writing that, and you're going to send this to me. You're going to send me, I guess, like an attachment, and it's going to have 3 columns. First column's you, next column's me, and then the last column's a reviewer. All right, so let's see if I can go through here. All right, let's see. I think the way I'm going to do, off the top of my head, I'm going to have to go through history. All right, so Spanish-American War. All right, so that's going to be imperialism, right? Like Teddy Roosevelt. All right, let me see. The Rough Riders. I don't want to get too bogged down in that. All right, the Treaty of Paris. All right, let's go big stick diplomacy. That's a lot of America. All right. It's misspelled. All right. So good gracious. All right. So we go straight out of that, and so there's lots of more stuff we go, right? All right. So we might say, so we could go what the Roosevelt corollary to the Monroe Doctrine. let's see, he's an imperialist, and then Taft and Wilson are less imperial. So you have this imperialist period there coming out of the Spanish American War. All right, politics is the progressive era. So we're going progressives. We'll say what? Roosevelt's the trust buster. All right, we're getting economics going there. What do we want to say? 44 versus 90. That's Taft versus Roosevelt. Let's see. What's the big ones? So Roosevelt took on what? Northern Securities. All right, but Taft is taking on like Standard Oil and U.S. Steel. All right. Let's see. Cultural stuff going on there. All right. Notice, I mean, we're not. All right, so muckrakers. Then we got to keep moving. We got to move on because, good gracious, I'm going to get down to the bottom, and I hadn't even made it out of really this period. So the progressive era is from. I mean, we can list all the muckrakers: Sinclair, Veblen. What's how the other half lives guy? Reese. All right, Shame of the Cities. What's that guy's name? Who wrote Shame of the Cities? Stephens, Lincoln Stephens. So you got all those muckrakers. Ida Tarbell. All right, you got all those muckrakers. All right, so let's then get into. We'll go with the new immigrants. All right, throughout this period, they're the J Grips. They're kind of radical. So you get some culture going there. So the migration and culture. Let's see. Geography, they're kind of settled in the cities. The progressives were city folks. All right, then World War I's coming along. So Wilson's trying to stay isolationist. Politically, he's doing like the Federal Reserve and the New Freedom, and he's kind of trying to complete the progressive era. And so then you got what? We're getting pulled in. So what do you want to say? All right, you got the three things that are pulling us in. Let's see, the Lusitania. All right, then the Zimmerman, and then the submarine. All right, and so, we've kind of worked our way. We've done something for everything, right? So let's keep going. All right, is there anything we can put about the war itself? The war itself is fun. The machine gun and all that, but they don't like to fight wars. Ooh, but what do they like? They like the war at home. All right, so you got women. That's not spelled well. All right, it's not Rosie the Riveter. It's single ladies. All the single ladies. All right, what? You got the Great Migration. You got sedition stuff. What do you want to put? Propaganda. Espionage. Eugene Debs, all that. All right, anything else? So Wilson, he's cracking down on civil liberties. So then you get the Roaring Twenties going through there. All right. What is there anything else we want to say? All right. So let's identity, American identity. What do you want to say about the 20s or World War I? Yeah, let's go Wilson and idealism. He wants to save the world. The Treaty of Versailles. This idealistic treaty that's causing him his stroke. And then like the president's Harding, he wants the return to normalcy. And these guys are conservative. And tax cuts. Not quite so. They talk a little isolationist. All right, but let's see. We'll go ahead and go with culture. Let's get our writers. The Lost Generation. All right, Harlem Renaissance. What's that guy's name? Back to Africa. Back to Africa movement. I can see him. Black Marcus Garvey. AP really likes him. So I can't hardly remember his name, and I don't do much with him. I don't do enough with militant civil rights leaders. I'm such a fan of Martin Luther King and John Lewis and, the Freedom Riders and all those guys that I don't give much. I probably don't do a good enough a job with like the Black Panthers and the Nation of Islam and Malcolm X. So when we do the review, well, no, we won't. We don't review it. This is as far as we go. All right. So, hey, we'll try to do a better job with that next year in government class. All right, what else do we want to say? Well, duh, the Flappers. You probably put that, so I want to put the Jazz. All right, Louis Armstrong, Langston Hughes. Okay, that's enough of the culture stuff. Culture's good. All right, so then you got the stock market crash, right? All right, and let's see how much room I got. This whole thing, what am I? I'm about, what do you think? Is that about 55% there? All right, so I got depression stuff. All right, so let's crash the stock market. All right, let me see. Hey, I'm outside this pile, and I promise when I sneeze, that's not anything to be concerned about or troubled about. And you can't catch something from me over the recording anyway, but I'm feeling fine. Thank you very much. Okay, so what's the two causes of the stock market crash? All right, is speculation. All right, think about it right now. Speculating. Who's doing? Whoever makes masks. That's who you want to invest in. Whoever makes Lysol and cleaning products. That's who you want to invest in. All right, whoever makes all kinds of internet stuff. The internet, boy, if the internet was booming before, now everything's online. Our entire existence online. So invest in tech stuff. That's speculation. Remember margin buying. All right, those were the two causes. Then the cause of the depression. So this is all economics. I was put tick. All right, it was tariffs. That's cutting down on world trade, inequality. The folks at the bottom can't buy anything. You think about right now. We're destined for some tough economic times ahead because people getting laid off and they're not going to be able to buy anything, and then businesses are going to close, and you kind of got that vicious cycle. All right, let's see, credit buying and the crash itself. Okay, so let's see. As far as the depression, what do we remember? What the depression did to people? I don't know. They're losing their homes. Riding the rails is like men. Losing their men's identity. All right, women are holding things together. So I mean that like the grapes of wrath here. We'll put some dust bowl. You get some. That's the migration of the Great Depression. Unions. Let's throw some union stuff in there. Union activity. Second part of Grapes of Wrath is very much about union activity. Okay, so then you got the New Deal. What do you want to say? All right, AAA. Here, let's go this way. We'll go with the 3 C's. I'm sorry. 3 C's was a square deal. 3 R's. All right, relief, recovery, reform. So let's see if you can name some stuff. Relief was FERA, the Federal Emergency Relief Act, which is giving money to states to give money away. All right, recovery. That's everything with the W in it. CWA, PWA, WPA. Things that are designed to put people back to work. And then reform. The FDIC, so you won't have bank runs. The SEC, so you won't have another stock market crash. Social Security, so seniors are not nearly as vulnerable. CCC's in there with a recovery. That's Roosevelt's favorite. And, it's getting those guys out of trouble. It's kind of cultural, too. And, the question of whether or not the New Deal worked or not. So maybe we put success. and a question mark. And remember we had those things? It was fish and bad duck. I guarantee you I can't remember them. All right, so bad duck. Big government, alphabet soup, debt, undermine the work ethic, the depression was still going, and then what's the C stand for? Bad duck. Civil rights lacking, so that was the criticism from the left. So remember Johnson, who is not going to be on the test, is adding civil rights to, government programs. All right, and then fish. Well, it fed people. There's more equality. It saved free enterprise. Gave people's pride back. Self-respect. That's what it was. All right, and Hamiltonian means for Jeffersonian ends. Big government's helping, the common man. Right now, big government's trying to bail out everybody, during this thing. All right, what Trump's thing is 3 times. Trump is spending nearly three times as much money as Obama did. Remember, our very last thing was Obama's $787 billion bailout for the housing market. Trump's is $2 trillion. All right, so 2.5 times as much. So, Trump's a Republican, but he's a big government Republican. Okay, but that's not on the test. But you've got the criticism and the success. Okay, so then you got World War II stuff going. All right, and so we're isolationist again. So you got what? Appeasement is kind of the problem. That's kind of the foreign policy of it. Nobody's standing up to the bad guy. All right, and then so Roosevelt, what's he doing? He's going cash and carry. Then destroyer deal. All right, then lend lease. All right, not much in the way of fight. So I don't know. We'll put Pearl Harbor. What do we got to know from fighting? Pearl Harbor, D-Day, island hopping, and atomic bomb. But really nothing. Nothing. What you got to know about is at home. All right, so you got Rosie the Riveter, and boom. All right. And I can say a few more things. Great Migration's continuing here. So I'll get rid of this. All right, where's my delete button? All right, so that gives me one more thing to say. What do you think, what do you think? Let's go with double V. You want that? Japanese internment, happier immigration story, the code talkers. So that's stuff at home. It's ending the depression, the military spending, all the spending's into the depression. All right, so now my end of things, that's not very long. It's going to be, I bet, what do you think? I bet the whole thing didn't last any more than 15 minutes. I bet less than that. I bet 12 minutes. All right, so you've got what you did. All right, you've got what I did, and it's just kind of roughly following those categories. And then you're going to have, that guy's name is, I cannot remember, but I'm going to send him to you as well. Okay? So that's our review. And that's the biggest topic. Let's see if we'll add just a couple of minutes to this sucker. So the periods are, if I can remember, it's 1491 to 1607. So that's like Spanish and Indians. All right, so then it's 1607 to 1754. So that's English colonies. All right, 1754 to 1800. So that is the French and Indian War's nation building. French and Indian War, Revolutionary War, Constitution, Washington, Adams. All right, 1800 to 1848. So that's Jefferson and Jackson and War of 1812. All right, 1844 to 1877. So, that's all the racial stuff. Antebellum period, Civil War Reconstruction. All right, 1865 to 1898, so that's Gilded Age. You know, all those industrialists and so forth, and then what we just did. All right, so it's doable. So you don't want to be scared of it, and we got a month to think about it. All right, so we're just gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it hard, baby. PHASE up. All right, we ain't doing no FAZE, and we're gonna be FAZE'd. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Like I said, I bet it's 15 minutes or less.